had questions, I need you to be paying attention. 47 says a commercial jet airplane climbs at takeoff with a slope of 3/8. So we are given the slope is 3/8. How far in the horizontal direction will the airplane fly to reach an altitude of 12,000 feet above the takeoff point? So here's the runway, here's the plane, right? We want to know this, what we know, this height right here is 12,000. They tell me that the plane is up 12,000 feet. How far in the horizontal direction will the airplane fly? So we are looking for this distance right here. Now, we can do this a couple of different ways. This is the horizontal. Here's the airplane flying up into the sky. This is how far he's gone horizontally. Now, we can do this a couple of different ways. This is where the airplane started, and this is where he's going to be when he's 12,000 feet above the ground, right? So we know that this is how far over he went, and this is how far up he went. So to get from this point to this point, I would count over x and up 12,000?
Yes.
Now, how do I do slope? What slope? If I'm going from point to point, how do I get my slope? It's rise over run. So what's the rise in this picture?
12,000.
So 12,000 over, what's the run in this picture? X. And I know that that fraction has to equal 3/8, because they told me it did. So the rise over the run of the airplane has to equal 3/8. Now, how do I solve something like that? Cross multiply. Or so 3x will equal, okay, that's going to be a big number, 96,000. And x will equal 32,000. Okay. All right. Who else had a question about one of our homework problems? Megan.
51 part B.
51 part B. Well, I can't do part B until I do part A. So I'll do part A here first. And it says, write the equation for 1998, comma, 5.9 to 1999, 6.3. So this is write that equation. All right, I can do that, right? First I find my slope, which is 6.3 minus 5.9 over 1999 minus 1998, which is just 0.4. And then I'll do, oh gosh, this is going to be ugly arithmetic. Y minus 5.9 equals 0.4, x minus 1998. So y minus my y coordinate equals 0.4 times x minus my x coordinate. Use my calculator here. To help me out.
1B, right?
Oops. 799.2. So y equals 0.4x minus 793.2. Is that what you had, Megan, for your equation?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's part A. Now, part B says, use the equation to estimate the expenditures in 2002. Now remember, the ordered pairs that you started with in the problem, this was the year and this was the expenditures. Every ordered pair in the problem was, the X part was the year and the Y part was the expenditures. So they're basically telling me that I'm going to have an X value of 2002. They're saying figure out the money, the expenditures in 2002. Now I already have this equation. I've already done that. They're telling you the X coordinate. So you plug that in, and what's that going to give you? The Y coordinate, which will be the expenditures. So we're just going to say 0.4 times 2002 minus 793.3. So again, using my calculator, I got 7.5. Which means the expenditures, I can't remember what's the unit on that, trillions of dollars. So that would be $7.5 trillion. It's a lot of money.
Is this a common problem we'll have, like with 1990, you know, the years in here? Okay.
Okay? Anybody else have a question about one of the homework problems? Bryce?
Never mind. No.
I got it.
Last call.
41.
Top 'em?
We do C. We only have two C's.
Okay, C is exactly the same as B, except instead of 2002, we're using 2006.
Okay.
So you're going to do exactly the same thing. The number will be different, but the operation is exactly the same. Which one? You didn't do it. No. I need people who have actually tried the problem. I will do problems for people who tried the problems. Okay. All right. What we're going to do now then is do a little practice quiz. So not for a grade, but I just want to practice. Get out a half sheet of paper. You can use the back of something. Yeah, you don't need a half sheet of paper. You can use the back of something to practice. Why do you think we're practicing that?
So we can get it.
We might do it for real soon, right? This is an actual quiz. We're practicing. Okay? Practice. So here's what I want you to do. 2 problems. Actually, 3 problems. First problem. I want you to write the equation of line AB. So here are 2 points. I want you to write the equation of the line through A and B. You may do it in any method you want. Okay, so that's your first job. Your second job is that question. Your third question. So let's do those 3, see how you do. start P5. Now, I don't care if you help each other on the practice quiz, but you won't be able to do that on the real quiz.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's what I get stuff now. Okay, so when you use your I just put it in, so you know that line that I yeah, I just put it in. So, you wasn't doing what did you guys end?
This fall, we have should I take Y?
Yeah, we're gonna have a test over chapter P.
Y, and then minus, we just choose one, like coordinate, you know?
Yeah.
So it'd be plus 2. Does that make sense? Then minus 2 equals.
Probably
No,
sometimes middle to later.
Minus 6 equals 8. Yep, and then you would put it into the equation. So it's 2y equals 4x. So this is minus 4. Yeah. Well, that's, and then that's it. So that's the end. Oh, that's awesome. Minus 2 minus 2. Y minus 4x minus 6. Is that what you guys got? Yeah. Okay. And then.
Okay, problem number 1. Who feels like you've got a good handle on number 1? All right, I want you to come up and put it right up there. She's going to write the equation of line AB. Perfect. Anybody feel like you got a grip on 2? All right, that one's yours. And how about 3? All right, that one's yours. There we go. Now, what should everybody be doing? Then it's always just be like before,
but you have to do this.
where you're at.
And then there's 2.5 trash
Y over X. Set X up to X.
Just look at it and you're like, well, I just wanted to kind of like cry. No, just look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Brooks got y equals 4x minus 6. Anybody want to agree with that? Agree with that? Anybody have a question about it? Yes, let me emphasize, we aren't just practicing because practice is fun. We're practicing because we're preparing for one you have to do for real. Okay, number 2. Kaylin got 3/4.
Yeah.
In agreement with that?
Yeah.
do we find the slope if we're given the line?
Rise over
We
rise.
get y by itself, so we just do the arithmetic, move things around, very good. And Megan got y equals negative 4x minus 2?
Yep.
We in agreement there? Now, where did the negative 4 come from?
The opposite reciprocal.
The opposite reciprocal of the slope that was given. So the slope that was given was 1/4. So she said, I'm gonna use negative 4.
Yeah, that like gets you.
And she was right.
Do you give extra credit for math?
I do, but we'll talk about that when we register. Which is in next week we register. Okay? Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay, now, let's get out our note sheet then, because we are ready for E5.
I don't even like him. I don't give a shit.
And if you have your calculator, you need to get that. And kids, yeah, today you need a graphing calculator.
I love that right now.
Remember, a graphing calculator is a requirement of this class. We should have one with us at all times. Because you never know when you're going to need it. I am going to, as soon as my computer comes up, I'm going to be doing some graphing with my calculator on the screen so that you can see which buttons I'm pressing. Now, if you don't have a calculator, you probably need to move next to someone who does have one because you want to be able to see the buttons. Look at this table. 1, 2, 3. Perfectly prepared. That's the only perfect table we have, isn't it?
I just don't have it. Of course, on
I've done this for 9 hours. We were just like, let's do that. So we go to my dad's a gardener. Sales. I'm just 40 scissors. It never runs out of batteries. I charge it.
I have any scissors I need to buy. Those
Okay. Take a look on your note sheet, problem number 1. Solve graphically. These, we are getting ready to solve quadratic equations in many different ways. When I say quadratic equation, do you understand what that means?
Something of 4.
A quadratic equation is a squared equation. So when somebody says to you, we're going to have a quadratic, it means it's squared. It also means there will be 2 answers. Now, occasionally, there will be just 1 answer, but that's because the 2 are the same. There's always 2 answers, but once in a while they'll be the same, so it'll look like there's only 1 answer. With our quadratic equations, no matter how you're solving them, we're going to have 4 methods to solve. No matter how we do it, we want to get it set equal to 0. Okay? So the first thing I do is set my equation equal to 0. Now that's not a factor, it's not an issue in the first problem, but look at B on your note sheet. You see what I'm talking about? Before I start, I'm going to move that 15 over. Okay? But I'm doing A first. Okay? So here's how we do it. Very, very simply. Those of you without a calculator, you're going to have to do some of this tonight. So you're going to go to the library and check one out or borrow a friend's. I'm only assigning a couple problems, so it won't take you long, but you need to know what buttons to press. Okay? So first thing I want you to do is check your window. Now I apologize for my big fat fingers. This is the window button right here. It's the button that says window. Well, first I have to turn it on. That would help. Okay? Then I'm going to press the button that says window. Okay? Katie, can you hit one of those light switches back there? Go ahead and hit one. Do the other one. This here. Okay. All right, so everybody's listening. So once I get it turned on, I'm going to hit my window button. And I'm going to make sure that my window is standard. And what that means is that I should have it set up so that my x's, x-min, x-max, y-min, y-max are -10 to 10. That's called the standard window. So when you type that in, be very careful that you are using the negative button, that's clear down here, not the minus button. When you put in your -10 on your window, make sure that you're using the negative button. All right, so everybody with a calculator got a window that looks like that? Okay. Now I'm going to put my equation in. To put in your equation, now I got other stuff in from another problem, so don't panic about that. You shouldn't see that. But to get that, you press y equals. Now, I don't know, you may have something in there and you may not. Just hit clear, hit clear right here, and it'll take that out. Then I got to go down and add 2 things in there, so I have to clear them both out. Now, does anybody's calculator have any highlighting up here? If there's a plot highlighted, we got to fix it, because that will stop us from graphing. So none of these are highlighted, right? Good. Okay, now we're going to put in our equation. This is the equation we're going to put in. So it's real simple. We press 2, and then this key right here, look where I'm pointing, that's your variable button. When you press that button, it should put your X up there. Did anybody press that button and it didn't? It put up something else? Because it can, depending on what mode you're in. Okay, so we got X. Now, I need to square that. So right down here, you have a squared button. Just hit it. It says X squared. Just hit that X squared button. Now we have 2x squared plus 5x. And remember, your variable button is right here. If you want an X, that's where you press. And then minus 3. Now, we don't put the equals 0 part in. We're graphing this. So we just type 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Everybody with a calculator got it in? Now we're going to hit graph. The graph button is right here. It says graph on it. And you should see that. Do you see it? Now, the points that you are interested in, remember your job was to solve this by graphing. The points that you're interested in are this one and this one. You are interested in the x-intercept, oops, shoot. I'm interested in the x-intercepts, which are also called the zeros. Those are the points I'm interested in. Now, how do I find those? Well, the reason these calculators are so expensive is because they do so much cool stuff. We're going to find that point right there. We're not going to guess what it is. We're not going to zoom and trace. We're not going to do all that. We're going to let the calculator actually pinpoint that. Here's how you do that. press second calc. Now, here's the second button, and on your calculator, anything that's written in blue, on my calculator's blue, I don't know what color it is on yours, but anything that's written in blue, I get by pressing the blue button. So I press second calc, and it pulls up this menu. See that word right there? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go down, use your arrow button, these are your arrow buttons right here, go down and press enter. Now it brings you back to the graph, and you should see a cursor flashing. Now I am going to find this point first. The calculator is asking me a question. It wants me to place that cursor to the left of the point I'm looking for. Now I am looking for that point. So I need to move my cursor over here somewhere. So I'll use my arrow buttons, and I'll just arrow, 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 until I am somewhere to the left of the point I'm looking for. Is my cursor now to the left of the point I'm looking for?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I hope you heard me say, the cursor is somewhere over there. There isn't a single place to put it. Just put it over there somewhere and hit enter. Well, now what do you think I'm going to do?
All the way to the right.
Now I'm going to move that cursor so it's somewhere to the right of the point I'm looking for. This is the point I'm looking for. So I just need to get the cursor over here somewhere. So I'll use my arrow buttons. And when you hit the enter, by the way, are you seeing these little things come out up here? That's saying, okay, the point I'm going to look for is between those two. The point I want is between those two little arrows. Now it says, Lisa, where do you think it is? Where do you think your root is? Well, you know what? I'm going to move my cursor to get it close to the point I'm looking for, and I'm going to press enter, and it's going to tell me right where it is. It says that 0 is at -3. So this 0 is at -3.
Do we need to draw the graph too?
Nope. Calculate. I'm doing that only so I can illustrate. We're just finding the zeros.
How would we write out -3? Just -3.
X equals -3.
I was thinking we should do advanced.
Now, there's going to be another answer, isn't there? No. The y just means, yeah, the other answer is the other 0. Guess what I need to do now, boys and girls? Start over. So how do I start? Second calc. Those of you without a calculator might want to write these down.